Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of me wrapping my car for the first time. This video will be basically me wrapping my passenger door and removing the door handle and also wrapping the door handle as well. So let's get started. Over here I am taking off the door handle, and that's kind of just what is required for prep work. Aside from washing and cleaning the edges and the sides, clay barring, and just maybe sanding down any major dents you might have. And what I noticed about taking off the door handle is that there are three different door handles basically, because the driver door is going to be a little bit more complicated than the other three. I feel like the main difference was that there was like a little plug that you kind of just had to like squeeze and pull back. There was also like a guard that I believe guards the gasket that allows the that guides where the glass rolls down. And also there is a lock, kind of like a keyhole that you could put your key in when your battery dies. That's like only on the driver's side. So this is me putting on the passenger door piece, getting ready to do the install. I do recommend that you take off the side mirrors before you do the cut, because the mirrors can get in the way, and that is what happened in my case, and it caused a pretty big gap on the bottom. But you will see how I'm able to kind of recover from this situation. I did expect that I would be able to stretch it beyond the gap, but in this case, that wasn't really possible. And as you can see on the top, I just used a straight edge for the border on the top where the glass starts. And this is just because I thought that it would be helpful. What I did realize was that, I don't think it was totally necessary, because I think I still ended up cutting into the little wedge that is right under the trim. So I think that cutting that part isn't really a problem. You just could fit your blade in a little groove and just follow that groove as a guideline. So here I am stretching, and notice that the door keeps swinging open. I would suggest that you close the door all the way, because you could tell over here that as I try to pull it back, it's opening the door, and I believe that that made the install take a lot longer, because I did my driver's side and I just closed the door all the way, and it didn't take me as long doing that door compared to the passenger front door. The only reason I did leave the door open was because I had a feeling that it would close and I would not be able to open again. But I believe that with the Honda, it's okay as long as the switch or the door handle inside isn't taken off, or everything is still together in that one part, basically the door handle to the little door switch, the lock switch. So at this point, I'm just finishing up the top. You can see that I'm just trying to heat it up and get it to stretch over to the edge. Seems like the fingers aren't really going down very evenly. And that whole part just disappeared because my camera went idle. But as you can see, I did finish the door, and I'm just cutting off the sides. Gonna end up heating up the sides and just getting it down. One of the challenges of doing this car, or probably any car, is that when there's a low point or like a trench or recess, it's important to get that part down as soon as you can, like before you go back up to a high point. So you kind of want to go in with the curve, get it pressed down, and then continue your way through, or maybe even downwards on the car. And what you see me doing here is basically patching up the bottom part of the door. I find that this may be the best way to go about it, because if you stretch your film a lot, especially towards the bottom part where you're going to cut and then eventually patch, it tends to pull back. And that is why I think that covering the bottom on it with a separate piece, and even with a separate piece with a straight edge, is the best course of action in this case. And now I start the door handle. It's best to do the door handle and the doors at the same time, because taking off the door handles is pretty time consuming. And if you do the door by itself and you put the door handle back, then it's gonna like double your prep work. Just to do the door handle, you're gonna have to take off the door handle again. So I think that it's best to do the door and door handle at the same time. And the remainder of the video is me completing the door handle and putting it back together. And to conclude this video, I would just say that the vinyl could stretch, but it will not be able to stretch that much. Not enough to cover at least a 2-inch gap. Also, it is best to do the door handles and door the same time, because you need to take off the door handle. If you learned something new or liked the video, feel free to subscribe or like. Thanks for watching.